Welcome to What Resonates. This podcast is about tuning into energy, intuition, and what feels true for you. Each conversation invites you to notice what sparks curiosity and feels aligned, opening a wider field of possibility for yourself and for humanity. Keep tuning in and follow What Resonates. Welcome to What Resonates. I'm Andrea Kennedy, and I have Master Mingtong here with me today, and I'm excited to introduce you to him. He's an internationally recognized teacher of wisdom healing, Qigong, founder of the Qi Center and Southwest Sanctuary. He's also the author of Coming Home to Embodied Awakening, Reclaim Your Body, Power, and Purpose in an Age of AI. He trained extensively in China and brings ancient Chinese energy practices into modern life as a path of healing, self-awareness, and embodied transformation. Welcome to the show. I'm so glad to have you here and delve more into Qigong, which is something we actually have not talked about yet in all of these years of the show. So thanks for being here.
Thank you. I'm delighted to share with you.
Well, I'm excited, and I think so many people have heard about Qigong, Tai Chi, and Qi, and I'm a Reiki teacher and been in that field for many years. A lot of our audience is familiar with that. I think my first question, though, for you, before we get into the book and the deeper topics, is what is the difference between Qigong and Tai Chi and maybe other modalities that utilize that energy?
Yeah, that's a big question, important question, obviously. The question is like, what is Qi? What is energy, right? Then how do you work with it, right? Then what is like the purpose of working with energy? So these like three layers, basically. So I would say like every system has a very different take on it. And there's a lot of overlapping, but also uniqueness of it. So for most people familiar with Tai Chi, and actually Tai Chi is one form of Qigong, one kind of branch of Qigong. Then Qigong is more like kind of overall encompassing many different, way of working with Qi, working with energy. Then in terms of history in China, it's like working with energy. It's called a different kind of name for it. Qigong is one of the most modern popular name. But if you trace it back to the Chinese history, then there's more than 5,000 years of history. So in a sense, it's more like parallel to yoga in India. Yeah. And so that's kind of broader, understanding of how, what is Qigong in terms of tradition, in terms of how it's continuously evolving through the history. So in every system of working with energy, it's like, what is energy, right? So that is a very important question to begin with. So every system approaching it slightly differently. So in my case, in the unique version of it, wisdom healing Qigong, we're kind of working with energy in a much broader way than historical way, than a particular system. Often, Tai Chi focus on, say, the energy of balance, yin and yang. And then in traditional Chinese medicine, you're working with different way of energy, 5 elements, meridian channel and the chakra system and so on, right? Yoga, similarly in the chakra system, then other energies, a lot of energy system working with chakra system, for example.
Mm-hmm.
We work, encompassing these different way of working with energy, but more importantly, it's like this. The cosmology. It's like acknowledging all existence is made of energy. So when people ask me, what is Qi, what is energy? Asking back, what is not energy? Everything is energy, basically, right? So really it's a powerful different kind of perception, recognizing not only this body is made of energy, all experience is expression of energy, interaction of energy, then all existence of the universe is made of energy. So this recognition is like this, everything existing, visible, invisible, physical, non-physical, the known, the unknown, all made of energy. So that's the recognition. That's a much bigger definition of what is energy. So then the next question is like, how do you work with energy? Yeah, how do you work with energy? So then it's like, how do you work with this body? How do you work with the emotion? How would it work with your mind? How work with your, life in general, right? So from that big perspective, then go beyond just like, the meridian channel, go beyond the chakra system. It's like, all experience, all function is come from the energy pattern. So on one hand, recognizing who we are encompassing the physical, emotional, mental, spiritual. We are energy wholeness. So this moment, we see each other as a physical body, appearance, whatever it might be. But the experience of this body is much bigger. It's like beyond this physical body, this invisible. Yeah, but the visible part of the body is also energetic. So you cannot say, the subtle energy existing just beyond this physical body, separate from this body, is part of this body, like visible, invisible. It's all as a whole energy system. So how to work with this energy system? There's so many different ways of working with it, right? So in this case, it's like this. Is the methodology is like this, very simple. In wisdom healing Qigong, when the energy is contracted, then all function of the physical, emotional, mental, spiritual is compromised. So we do not identify energy as good energy or bad energy, positive energy, negative energy, or even high frequency, low frequency. It's more like focus on, okay, what is the experience this moment, the sensation, the feeling you're having right now, comfortable, uncomfortable, intense and subtle, and allow you continue exploring beyond what you know. What you know is like what is unknown, what is possible, what is the hidden potential. So by focus on like two pattern of energy, when it's contracted pattern. But when the same energy, awakening, opening, flowing again, then all function coming back to normal or moving towards optimum function. Then you're exploring the potential. That's the methodology.
I see. And so in Tai Chi, and you said Tai Chi is a subset of Qigong, but so let's focus then on how you practice and teach Qigong. And that is a movement of the body and an awareness uh, of the body and the mind together, where I guess that's my question. The body and its movement and its positioning, that's very important in Qigong, is it not?
Yeah, it is. So the main thing is like this. I cannot speak for other form of Qigong or modality, but I can speak to the uniqueness here. I want to share. The uniqueness here is not just move your body. The practice, like three kind of practice we do in the system. One is movement practice. Second is sound healing practice, using the vibration, activating the energy and addressing, we're going to share more what's about, what's the difference of it. And the third is meditation in general, how to use your mind to connect with energy, wholeness, energy, awareness. Yeah. So these are three different kind of practice we do in this wisdom healing Qigong system. But the process it's important. The process is like really not about just moving your body, making the sound. It's really about not only awareness. The first step is awareness. You're aware your body energetic beyond the physical sensation, aware your emotion, aware your feeling, aware of your connection, aware your restriction, aware your capacity to open in energy. So the first is awareness. But secondly, more than awareness is you're connecting. So you're deeply not only like awareness often is like you're witnessing your body, witnessing something, witness your experience, witness your thoughts, right? So that's like more detached, which is important, yeah, because you kind of untangling from sometimes the stressful entanglement, the story, whatever, problem solving, judgment, so on. So you want like witnessing what you're experiencing. Then you can make a new choice. Yeah. Realizing what is new experience available, new possibility. So that is very powerful, beneficial practice. So any kind of a practice we do is starting with awareness, but then you consciously, with the intention, say, now I'm going to connecting with my body in a certain way, connecting with my brain certain way, with my heart certain way, with loving kindness, with movement, with vibration, with the purpose of awakening the energy, opening the energy. So it's like this: awareness, connection. But then deeply, it's about the union of the mind body. So that is different from like, I'm here to change this body, change this energy, controlling this body, controlling this energy. I'm here to solve this problem, to realizing a particular goal. That's a different approach. That is a common approach of so many different modality. Here's like, oh, I'm more than my mind. Oh, I'm more than this body identifies object as a vehicle, as some kind of tool for realizing certain goal. I am this body. I am this mind body coming together. I am this presence. I'm this experience. I have the choice to work with my energy to realize my full potential of who I am already. So it's different from like striving. Yeah. Different from like, oh, what a problem I have. Therefore, what is the diagnosis? What is the problem solving? What is the antidote to fix this problem? So it's really like awakening who we are already.
And is the body sort of the gateway into the deeper observations, the deeper knowing?
Exactly. That is an essential approach, most important approach. Instead of thinking the body is just object or tool or problem solving and or just improving the function. It's really the body is like, the best way I can communicate with all of you right now, this moment, let's do a simple like a meditation, if you will. Like join me, just simply placing hands on top of your chest. Now feeling your body, if it's safe, you can close your eye. Now say these words like after me, then allowing the experience arising inside your body. So the words is very simple like this. Without this body, I do not exist as human being. Without this body, I do not exist as a human being. Without this body, I do not exist as a human being. And feel the truth of your own existence, the truth of your own body, the truth of your own presence, beyond any label, any assumption. Simply feel the truth inside of you. And the second truth, Without this body, I cannot experience life as human. Without this body, I cannot experience life as a human. Without this body, I cannot experience life as a human and feel the truth and embracing all the human experience inside of your own body. And the third truth, without this body, my soul cannot evolve in this lifetime. Without this body, my soul cannot evolve in this lifetime. Without this body, my soul cannot evolve in this lifetime. Simply feel the truth, feel the wholeness of your own presence beyond any concept, any story, any assumption.
Thank you. And if our body is a gateway, as I mentioned a moment ago, I would imagine any number of things might have been felt by the audience when they practiced that. Perhaps they were noticing tension in a certain place of their body or thoughts that wouldn't stop. I'm sure that you could speak about that, what might arise and what that might tell us, because the body is very wise, is it not?
It's more wise than we think, right? This meditation we just did is help us to recognize this body is more than what we think. And also recognize, not only how important this body is more important than anything we know. Think about, without this body, I do not exist. Without this body, you do not exist. Without the body, nobody exists. So, how powerful that is way beyond what we think. So what I'm inviting all of us, including myself, is to come back to this body, to explore what is this body is beyond what we think it is. And so this direct experience of yourself. So shifting from this idea, I have this body, or this idea, this body is not me, to claim not only this body is part of you, but this body is you. Because without this body, you do not exist. So the deeper implication of that is so profound. So that's, the exploration I'm inviting. So coming back to your question is when you truly connect with your body, you may noticing the discomfort, the tightness, even the pain, the stress as part of the truth. This body is carry your history, carry everything who you are, everything you experienced, whether you remember or not. It's inside of you. And so when you're coming back to the body, yes, in the beginning, you can feel, discomfort, tightness, pain, so on. But the invitation is that is only part of the truth. Part of the truth on the surface. And recognizing our pattern is run away from the discomfort, run away from the pain. So it's like suddenly you're creating a story, mental story about what's happening in the body. And then you carry on the story, adding more story. Then you lost the connection with your own body. Or simply, I want finding a solution to fix this pain, fix this discomfort. What is the medicine? What is a drug? What is a quick fix? What is shortcut? Give me something to solve this problem I'm feeling in this body. Yeah, so that's kind of the pattern we have, the old pattern. So this old pattern is continuously preventing us from coming back to this body, to connecting deeply who we are to begin with, or continues discovering what is deeply true inside of us. So that's the problem we're facing.
And so, what's the alternative?
Yeah, the alternative. So the reason I'm kind of slow down here before asking that question most people ask, because we're seeking for like some kind of solution, how I can change that.
Yes, but I think what I'm asking is you very distinctly described what most people do, right? Feel, oh, this hurts, this does that. And so you illustrated that. But okay, we totally understand that approach and that that's not maybe helpful. But what does it look like to do it in a healthier way? You know, through your method, if we're not fixated on the pain and give me the pill to take, uh, give us a sense of the process when we're not in that place.
Yeah. So the process is slow down, letting go of this idea of how I can fix this, how can I change this. Allow yourself to feel what it is. Feel the pain, feel the discomfort, feel whatever stress, tightness. Life is stressful, no question about, but this body is carry the stress. So when you coming back to this body, when you're trying to take care of the stress, you have to come back to the body, to feel your body, embracing your body, loving your body, experiencing what stress feel like in the body, what pain feels like in the body, what tightness, discomfort feels like in your body, and embracing that as a truth instead of running away from it and suppressing it, ignoring it until we burn out, until someday suddenly a diagnosis happened. Oh, you have this chronic illness, is this condition, this incurable condition, as if something happened like overnight. No, nothing can happen overnight because you're not aware of it. All the stress building up in the body, you're not aware of it. Then one day suddenly you're diagnosed as the big problems. So when you're aware of it inside, then every day, oh, it's my responsibility to take care of the stress, take care of this tension. And in order to do this, you cannot run away from it. So just feeling it, allow yourself feel it. The first most important, difficult part, and also easiest part. Like you don't have to do anything to change anything. Just simply close your eye, feel your own body, feel the presence of your body, feel the truth of your body, whatever is true might be in this moment. Oh, I can breathe into this part of the body, feeling the tension. I can send in love, compassion, gentleness to this part of the body. I can acknowledge the tension inside me. Oh, my heart experiencing stress. Oh, I can appreciate my heart has been experiencing life, which can be difficult, can be challenging. But now I'm here to take care of my own body, to communicate with my body's different way, different direction, instead of like, what's wrong with you? Why you feel bad? Why you feel wrong? So, we do that all the time, So give it this attention to your body. That's what I'm asking. Giving the attention to your body. Like, every day we learn to give attention to our children, to give attention to our job, give attention to, whatever we have to take care in the house, which is important. but rarely we give attention, true attention to this body, which need the care, but more importantly, need, it's like this more than just recognition, even more than the attention, more than like, oh, this body need food, this body need clothes. But that's is like very superficial attention. But what I'm saying, the attention directly, your mind, your attention, when your eyes closed, you directly pay attention to your brain. Oh, I have a brain. Oh, okay, let me share another exercises so you can get a sense of what I'm trying to guiding everybody to. Like placing your hands on top of your brain. Gently close your eye. Say, I love you, my brain. I feel you, my brain. I appreciate you, my brain. I know you're being stressed. Every day you're thinking too much. Every day, you're problem solving so much. You're trying to figure out everything in life. You're stressed. Now I'm slow down this moment so I can feel you. You're part of me. I'm allow you to rest. I'm allow you to release the stress, the tension. I'm allow you to take a break from overthinking. I'm appreciating you. I'm experiencing you. So when you do that, it's a very different connection with your own body. And that's even different from the traditional approach like, oh, what is the perfection of the brain? What is the pure light? What is pure chakra? Now I'm going to operate in my brain so it's function better to accomplishing everything. It's like from very human place, recognizing I'm stressed, I'm lost, I'm disconnected from my own body. So now I'm finding a way to come back. Yeah. So that's why all the practice in Qigong is like you close your eye, you slow down the movement instead of doing exercises, rushing. Yeah, our building muscles. I'm slow down. I'm feeling the body like the simple movement. For example, right here, I'm gently, slowly moving in my body. Even internally, I'm stretching, but I'm softening. I'm moving, but I'm feeling my body. I'm recognizing the physical aspect of this body, but much more the non-physical, the subtle, invisible energy. I start to feel gentleness, softness, feel the energetic connection of my wholeness. So it's very different from exercises. That's not even just like, oh, I'm improving balance, I'm improving this function. Yes, that can come, but that's come as a bonus, as a natural outcome of this deep intention, deep purpose, deep commitment. I'm coming back to my body. I'm discovering my body as part of me. I'm discovering energy as part of my life. I'm discovering the deeper truth of who am I.
That's really so simple, and we tend to not do the simple things and make it so complicated, don't we?
We do. That's all we do. That's our specialty in nowadays, especially in the modern life. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. I'm wondering about the movement. For those of us who are just listening to the show, um, you were moving your arms in sort of a large motion there. Are there certain motions or sequences of motions in Qigong that have a different purpose based on what they are? Or is it just more important to move the body with our attention within the body and the movement?
Right, right. Good question. So the three purpose of everything we do, okay, whether it's movement practice, sound healing practice, even meditation practice in general, right? Everything in Qigong is meditation. So movement is a moving meditation. Sound is the like sound meditation. Then, sitting meditation, walking meditation, so on, or even sleep meditation, right? So it's all energetic meditation in general. That's important to understand. So there's three purpose. Yeah. One is slow. Let's using movement as example. Okay. So one is connecting mind with the body. So you're detaching the mind from thinking, from looking for something outside of you. So you close your eye. So internally feeling your body, connecting with your body. So when you do the movement, then you feel more. Yeah. So that's kind of number one, yeah, priority of the movement practice as example right now. Then the second one is gently opening the energy. So whenever you're feeling the contraction, feeling the tightness, feeling the pain, you gently opening from that place. But you want to do it like not like, oh, only that area feeling, contraction, then I'll go there. That's more like problem solving approach. But instead, you focus on, every part of your body, the three key area, when you do the movement. One is opening the shoulder. For example, when I'm doing this, yeah, I'm not only moving my arms, but also I'm opening my shoulders. Yeah. Yeah. And then realizing the energy in my hands, arm is also connecting with my heart, connecting with my brain. So I'm like opening the energy, basically. Yeah. By opening the energy, I'm releasing the stress, releasing the tension, releasing the stagnation. So in this moment, focus on the shoulder, connecting the arm, and then connecting the heart, the brain, so on. So that's one example. Then another movement is focus on, actually many movement, focus on the spine. Yeah, you can rotate in the spine horizontally. For example, if I'm turning the body to my left side, then I'm stretching my spine. And internally, I'm opening the stress, the tension, the stagnation from the spine. Yeah. And then also opening the energy flow associated with the spine. We call the governor energy, governor channel, opening that channel. Yeah. But also you can do movement like bending the spine downward, you're bending down consciously, mindfully. So stretching, but doing it slowly, very slow, like stretching, but moving slowly, gently. That's like the paradox. On one hand, you're stretching. On the other hand, you're moving very slowly. So the slow movement, the stretch, creating another energetic opening. Yeah. The stretch allow you to go deeper, and the softness allow you to open. And so that's kind of another technique we use in Qigong. So that's the second area. Opening the spine is so important. Yeah. It's like the third area is your hip area. You can rotating your hip, stretching the hip, using the tailbone, initiating the movement, feel the pelvic is moving. So it's not just like moving randomly. You're moving in that structure. Within the structure, allow you stretch deeper, allow you opening deeper, allow you feel deeper. So when you're working with these three key areas, then the whole body is affected. Yeah, the shoulders, spine, hip area, the whole body is affected. So then you can go further, deeper over the time. The key is repetition. So every repetition of the movement, allowing go deeper. So in the beginning, you may feel like physical, I'm doing physical movement. But then over the time, you start to feel subtle sensation, energetic sensation, start realizing you're not just moving the physical body, you're moving your energy body, your entire energy body responding. You feel the like sense of not only deeper vitality, deeper aliveness, deeper wakefulness, deeper lightness, but you feel like the energy is naturally opening, connecting more with life, with earth energy, with heavenly energy. Of course, we do meditation, use the mind to connect earthly energy, heavenly energy, the subtle energy all around us, visible, invisible. But through the movement, you start to feel that naturally opening up. So that's like the third purpose is connection. Yeah. So the first mind-body connection. Yeah. And then opening the energy from any kind of contraction to the whole body opening. The third is connecting with the energy field. We call the energy field of life, called the living chi field. That's encompassing the earth's energy, the universal energy, energy of life. And you start to expand your perception. Now that's a deeper purpose, is expanding your perception. How you perceiving this body to discover how you're perceiving life, how you're perceiving the universe, how you're perceiving creation, how perceiving your purpose of being human.
Yeah, that's really quite beautiful. When people come to Qigong from a Western type upbringing, I would imagine many of them are coming because they have an issue that they are looking to heal, perhaps, which already sets them up for being attached to an outcome, perhaps. Just for example, perhaps someone suffers from migraines or a chronic condition like multiple sclerosis, something like that. And I would imagine you see a lot of that. But in your description, it was very expansive. It was very, um, I don't mean this in a negative way, but a general kind of approach without a fixation, very flowing. And so when people come in to Qigong with those kinds of outcomes in mind, um, how 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 does that work for them? Do they maybe you could speak about that because it's something concrete and something just flowing. So
Yeah.
how do those come together and actually help people?
I know. Honestly, Andrew, that's the challenge. Honestly, that's the
Yes.
challenge. But I have to work with it. You know, I'm
Yes.
totally aware of it. So I just go straight, cut into the chase, right? Say, if you want to, hear yourself more directly, faster, more deeper, and there's two approaches. Like, do you want a short-term approach? You may feel better in short period of time. You do these, your own expectation way, have tried everything already. How this has been working out for you, right? So you may feel better short term, but then suddenly the same problem come back or getting worse. And one problem getting better, another problem comes. So people lived long enough when I pointing out these problems, and they're like, yeah, I know, I'm exhausted. I tried everything. And temporarily feel better, but never solve the real problem. But more we focus on the problem, then more problem comes. So they recognize that. So I'm kind of pointing out that first. Then I guiding the process gradually for them to shift the mindsets. Like, okay, now forget about your problem, even for 5 minutes. Let's focus on your body, focus on your energy, focus on love, focus on connection. Now say, how do you feel? How do you feel now? Oh yeah, I feel better. Then the mind say, oh, what about my problem, right? Let's go back to the problem again. So now, okay, now let's do that again. Let's about do this for 10 minutes. Now, how do you feel now? Yeah, I feel better. I'm not worried about the problem anymore, at least for longer time now. So repeating this process over again, then finally, eventually they get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't it about really coming into that awakened state of we are not just our body, we
Yeah.
have consciousness and the body is actually part of that? You know what you were talking about earlier.
Right. Yeah, that's basically is the ultimate purpose of Qigong as I see it. And that's also ultimate purpose of life as I see it. Why we're here as a human being, we're speaking about discover the meaning of life, purpose of life, fulfillment of life, discovering love, discovering joy. All that is ultimately is about, awakening. But this awakening is not like a spiritual concept of awakening. We're thinking, oh, just the mind awakening, consciousness awakening. it's the missing part is the body awakening. It's the whole awakening. It means every aspect of self awakening to wholeness, awakening to oneness, awakening to the essence of life, who we are. And that cannot be defined by intellectually, like, oh, what is the meaning of life? What is the purpose of life? What is the ultimate, goal of life? It's like more we defining, more we narrow down of life.
Instead of defining, like what you're saying, would you say it's more of experiencing it?
Exactly. But the experience has to come from the body. Because
Yes.
if you're not connecting with the body, you're not just thinking. You're just thinking. It's just concept, just a mental story, mental projection, mental perception. It's different from direct experience, which is only possible with this body. That's why the invitation of embodied awakening.
What about intention? Does that have any role here? Because we hear a lot about where intention is, the energy flows.
Intention is so important. Yeah, that's one of the kind of a formula we use, where the mind goes, energy flows. And so that's kind of the intention, right? So if you intention, then you give it attention. From the intention, you give it attention. Then you go further, is concentration. So like not just thinking about intention, you're paying attention, you're giving the attention, but you're concentrating. Okay, now this also means you're committing to it. You're not like, oh, my intention is this, but you follow with it with action. You follow with a period time of priority, for example. Yeah. For example, the practice is so important, essential. It's like every day, if you're doing every day, doing a formal, consistent practice, then you're acting on that intention. You're giving attention to your body, not only just like temporarily for a period of time, it's like, oh, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, even 1 hour. That's the time I'm committed to myself. I'm acting on that intention. I'm paying attention to this body. I'm concentrating to myself, to this energy. I'm focused on the purpose. Like this level of commitment become very tangible. But also you learn how to enjoy this process.
I love that concept because we're often just so um, fixated on the destination, right? And not the
Right.
journey.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of our audience would probably describe themselves um, as an empath. And so sensitive to energies and things like that. The world is a little crazy out there. And I'm wondering, when I hear you talk about the practice, it sounds beautiful. And then I would be in my space and I would be doing this. And then I have to go to the grocery store, or I have to go to the thing out there, or somebody's playing the news or something like that.
Right.
How how do we how do we practice like this and have this awakening and re- this connection with our body, and imagine that we're working with this and we're sensing and we're coming a long way. How do we do that in our modern world with all of that stuff out there?
Yeah. That's the whole point. It's because the world is going so crazy right now. That's why we need more practice, but you cannot really hide yourself in a cave. That's not what I mean by practice, right? So you're spending that time so you can self-regulate your own energy. So that means when you go out there in this craziness world, you're not affected as a victim. You're not affected too much. You're still affected, but maybe you being less reactive, yeah, or less victimized, less shaked by what's going on around you. You stay centered, grounded, connected. So that's the whole point of the practice. Just so over the time, when you practice and realizing, Yeah, when you go out interacting, become more efficient and more, self resilient, become, but also you start to model what is possible. You start to affecting other people more positively, more healthy way. And so that is a piece. But another question, it's like, if some of us empathic, then you sensitive, then you much more easily affected by other people's energy. So how to work with that? The process is same, because nothing can work until you developing the internal centeredness, groundedness, resilience inside of you. There's no other way, basically. You cannot say wishing overnight. Now, people do this like, okay, now I'm going to do a protective practice, creating a shell energy around me so I can walk in the grocery store. I don't have to feel other people anymore. But, that may work temporarily, but then you feel disconnected. You feel like you want to hide all the time. It's like, always prepare yourself. Where's the danger? Where's the problem? Where's the negative energy? Then you're constantly in that place of protection. Then you're affecting yourself. When there's nothing happening outside of you, you feel contracted already. So that approach really doesn't work. So only way to do is two, basically. One is like, slow the practice, you developing over the time the greater resilience, greater strength, greater connection internally. That's number one, important. You feel centered. The second one is change the perception of energy. So when we, continuously label the energy outside of us or inside of us, unconsciously, positive energy, negative energy, good energy, bad energy. Oh, this shouldn't happen. This is wrong. This is bad. The moment you consciously, unconsciously label that way, your whole body, contract, then react. But especially you feel like you have become victim of whatever you perceive as bad. So the empathic become more victimized, overreactive, oversensitive. That is the second layer. That is more problematic layers, difficult to work with. So the only way to change that is recognizing I'm in the middle of the grocery store, but I'm in the middle of the ocean of energy, this universal energy of Mother Earth, universal energy of the cosmos. And that energy is neutral. That energy is always present with me, with my body. And the more I connect with that, the more I can detach from these labels, good, bad, right, wrong. Then you start to feel like, I have a choice how to identify, how to respond, how to label. If I'm think of my own energy is only two patterns, contraction, openness, then apply to someone else. Someone else may be feeling contraction. They're in a bad mood, whether they have a disease or not, then suddenly, I'm recognizing the contracted energy. But now I'm learning how to work with the contraction, the internal capacity through the practice, how to open from contraction to openness without isolating yourself, without overprotecting yourself, without taking on other people's issue. Then you start to feel, you can still be open, connected, but without victimized. You still feel centered, grounded, self-resilient, feel even a capacity even to help other people because you're sensitive. So that means you know who need help if you're trained to do that. Don't overstretch yourself if you're not trained to do that. Then you'll be like stressed out.
Yes. Well, with your book, I'm curious to ask you, there's quite a bit there. I mean, there's so much in the book. what would the core message that you want, what is that core message that you would want readers
Mm.
to take away from your book? And I want to just remind everyone, coming home to embodied awakening. Wow, it's a beautiful title. What would you like them to really take away from the book?
So the chapter 7 in the book, chapter 7, it's called Returning to Your Body as a Living Temple. And in that chapter, that's the first key for healing, both healing, spiritual awakening, for embodied awakening. The first key is returning the body as a living temple. In that chapter, I summarized 6 perceptions or 6 level perception about your own body. So when you read that, meditate on that, reflecting on that, it's like you start to realizing 3 aspects. One is how much we have a wrong relationship, wrong perception, misunderstanding about own body, and how this is causing stress, disconnection, tension, and all problem in our life, basically. That's the first part. And the second part, realizing a possibility of new relationship with your own body as a friend, as part of you, and even go further as you, this body as you, as a mystical union of you as a human being, instead of bypassing it. Then you're realizing the deeper fulfillment. You're realizing you become the source of the healing, source of life, the source of love and the joy, source of creation. You become a co-creator of life. So that is the map, a map out very clearly in that chapter 7. And of course, every chapter give you like new doorway to embodied awakening. But I want to use that example. Chapter 7 is just profoundly, honestly, this book is doing so much more than I expected. More than just information, more than just inspiration, become like a map for people directly experiencing this returning to their own body as a living temple, as a whole, as one.
I think that it's the foundation of everything because there's such a duality with our own selves, and a struggle that so many people have with the body that you touched on throughout the time that we were talking. And I think that qigong is a remarkable modality, and I sort of look at it as a complementary therapy where you can certainly fold it into, any kind of way of life, or if you are going through something, why not start this also with whatever it is that you are doing? But it does sound very healing for sure. And I'm just more relaxed just talking about it with you.
Good,
Actually, I'm
good,
just more
right?
relaxed. Yes.
It's
Um,
ultimately self-healing, and
yes.
it's not depend on anyone else or anything else. You don't need to have the yoga mats or any machinery, any tool. You can do it any place, any time. You can face any direction. There's no requirement of belief system, dogma, and you just like this ongoing process of self-discovery, slow this body, slow energy, slow willingness to come back to yourself. It's like the best thing we have, but often we miss it. It's like any ages can do this. If you're diagnosed with serious condition, you still can do this. If you can stand, do the practice. You can lie down, do the practice. You can sit, do the practice. It's just absolutely accessible, unlimited.
That's just remarkable. And before we go, I would love for you to let our audience know where to find out more about all the things that you offer. You offer a lot, actually. And so, how can they best find out all that you offer?
Yeah. You're right. I offer a lot, so many different online programs people can access anywhere, but also to most intense retreat, 1 month long retreat in Santa Fe, in San Diego. Actually, right now I'm in the middle of 1 month long teaching a month long retreat just by myself. Today I have 1 day break. So it's very intense. So for people really ready diving 100%, we call this retreat is called 30 Day of Rebirthing Yourself. Rebirth not only as concept, rebirthing your body, rebirthing your heart, rebirthing every aspect of yourself. And it's very intense. So for any of us want to starting with the book, you can go to my website, mingtonggu.com. I think illustrate on the screen right now. And if you like to explore more training program, you can go to my Chi Center website, chicenter.com. Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much. It was a very enlightening and also, as I said, calming and enjoyable time. So thanks for
Thank
being
you.
here. Thanks for being here and sharing your knowledge with us.
It's my pleasure. Thank you everyone for joining us. I was looking for any way I can support you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in. Keep trusting your truth, keep listening to your inner wisdom, and keep following what resonates. To sign up for the newsletter, leave a review, or connect, visit whatresonatspodcast.com. You'll also find everything linked in the show notes.